Tom Watson said it best. He said, I'm no genius, but I'm smart in spots, and I stay around those spots. Well, I try and stay around those spots, and I just don't have a problem if somebody says, you're wrong on something. I go back and look at the facts.
وارن بافت متولد 30 اوت 1930 میلادی که غالباً با لقب باهوش اوماها یا دانشمند اوماها نامیده می شود. وارن بافت در کودکی در زمینه پول و تجارت استعداد شگفت‌انگیزی از خود نشان داد. در 6 سالگی 6 جعبه کوکاکولا به قیمت 25 سنت از مغازه پدر بزرگش خرید و هر بطری را به ازای 1 سکه 5 سنتی فروخت، در حالی که همسن و سالهای او بر روی چمن لیلی بازی می کردند. امروز او 10مین فرد ثروتمند جهان است و برای شما نصیحت‌هایی از زندگی یک فرد ثروتمند دارد. اگر از ویدیوی ما خوشتون میاد باید بگم که لایک و سابسکرایب شما خیلی به ما کمک میکنه.
How can other people tap dance to work? What's the secret of that?
You find your passion. You find your passion. I was very, very lucky to find it, when I was 7 or 8 years old, and fortunately my children have found their passion. One son loves farming like nothing else. One son loves music like everything else, and all 3 of them love philanthropy and what they get to do. You're lucky in life when you find it, and you can't guarantee you're going to find it in your first job out. But I always tell college students that come on, I say, take the job that you would take if you were independently wealthy. You're going to do well at it. It never bothered me if people disagreed with what I thought, as long as I felt I knew the facts. There's a whole bunch of things I don't know to think about. I just stay away from those. So I stay within what I call my circle of competence. Tom Watson said it best. He said, I'm no genius, but I'm smart in spots, and I stay around those spots. Well, I try and stay around those spots, and I just don't have a problem if somebody says, you're wrong on something. I go back and look at the facts, and I think that really is much more important, frankly, than having a few points of IQ or having an extra course or 2 in school or anything of the sort. You need emotional stability. I just read and read and read. I probably read 5 to 6 hours a day. I don't read as fast now as when I was younger, but I read 5 daily newspapers. I read a fair number of magazines. I read 10Ks. I read annual reports, and I read a lot of other things too. So I've always enjoyed reading. I love reading biographies.
But what's the best advice that you've ever received?
Well, I received it in a variety of forms, particularly from my father when I was very young. But he basically, I think, taught me how to live. Not that I did it perfectly or anything like that, but he was giving me lessons, but he wasn't doing it by preaching to me. He was doing it by example. But basically, the biggest lesson, in a sense, I got is the power of unconditional love. I think there is no power on earth like unconditional love. And I think that if you offer that to your child, you're 90% of the way home. And there may be days when you don't feel like it. It's not uncritical love. That's a different animal. But to know you always can come back. That is huge in life. That takes you a long, long way. And I would say that every parent out there that can extend that to their child at a very young age, it's going to make for a better human being.